that on a hoodie or on a sweatshirt or long sleeve for the colder months. We've also got a mug for your hot cocoa and an adorable sticker that's begging to go on your notebook or laptop. We've also got this limited time Murford and Sean's shirt that was voted on by our patrons, and this one is only available through the end of January, so pick it up now and make sure you don't miss out. We've also got some items leaving the merch store to make way for new stuff in the future, so grab those while you still can. And you can find all of this sweet merch at bit.ly/cpgmerch. Links are going to be in the video description, and let's be honest, you need Bobby roasting marshmallows in your life.
Aaron Greenberg, hi. Sean Capri, the Xbox Drive. I would really like to see Game Pass included with every single console you sell. Series S, Series X, put it in with games. Give it to people with, like, get people buying Mountain Dew and Doritos. Get them codes. Just get it out there, man. You did it with Xbox Live. Do it again. You can take over the world. I believe in you, you big, beautiful man. There.
Also, don't forget to include a coupon for a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut in there as well.
I'll take it.
Revenge did.
People should be Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. I'm glad you're here because you're watching and listening to the most horse-powerful podcast on the internet. It's the Xbox Drive. I'm on a Skype call with my friend Brian Murford. He's the weatherman on the moose, and on our journey today, we're going to look at our predictions from last year and see how wrong I was, and I'm going to make 5 more wrong predictions for you, and Ryan's going to make 5 more right predictions for you right here on the Xbox Drive, so jump on into the Xbox Drive.
No power greater than X.
Ryan, I don't know what's going on with me today, man. I'm feeling good. It's good to see you, my friend. You look cozy in that there Xbox hoodie. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. First of all, I'm just glad we're back because
Yes.
it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Since we podcasted with each other, because we did have our Game of the Year episode go up over the holidays.
Yes.
With everyone on the channel, which was, of course, just a super special conversation. But we recorded that like a week before even the holidays begin, like on the 10th of December, I think. So it's been a long time since we've been on a call like this, Sean.
Don't even know how to do it anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
We might as well just shut it down at this point.
You had your opportunity to shut it down. If it was going to be like some sort of New Year's resolution, like new year, new Ryan. But nope, we've missed our chance. We've locked in for another year, my friend. And also, we're going to be predicting this year. So we've got to see what happens. You can't just like make a prediction at the beginning of the year and then like leave Carpool Gaming partway through. You can't do that. You absolutely can't do that, Ryan.
People would never have done
Nobody would ever do that. Yes.
Oh my God. Anyways, before we clear the garage, Sean, I have to ask you a question, of course.
Okay.
Because we're back from the holidays.
Yes.
How were your holidays? I want to know what you did. Did you have a good holidays? How was your 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was busy. I feel like I've done everything but played video games, Ryan, which is very sad, except for Marvel Snap, which I did discuss a little bit on the Nintendo Drive yesterday. But I haven't gotten to anything I wanted to, dude. Like I'm carrying over a ridiculous just glut of games into this year, which, as we will be predicting, might be the greatest year in recent memory. This could be one, at least loaded, and maybe the conversation at the very end will be, do we want quality, quantity? Do we get both this year? But holidays were good, man. We spent a lot of time with family. Today is my very last day of being off work. I go back tomorrow and then Friday and then I get a weekend again. So just kind of ease back into it. But I keep wanting, like, I plan out my day. Like I'm kind of ridiculous like this. And the things that are on my to-do list, games like Neon White are on the to-do list and I never get to it, man. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping to turn over a new leaf. But I'm not a great start to the year, since you asked. I would much rather be like clean and clear and under control, Yeah. But I'm not. How about you?
Makes sense. Yeah, actually, my holidays, believe it or not, were not actually all that different from yours, because I was actually nodding like, oh, I definitely hear that, because, it's funny because I was listening to our Game of the Year, our predictions episode from last year, because I had to put together our results from last year. And on that episode, I talked about how, I didn't really have a chance to play any games over the holidays.
Yeah,
because
same thing.
I worked so much, because And that's literally what happened again this year, right? Today is my first day off in a while. Like I basically had 3 days off in 3 weeks at this point over the holidays. And with multiple 12-hour days and stuff like that too. And then I was doing a lot of traveling. I went back to London, Ontario to visit my folks for Christmas. And then after that, I came home for a day and a half. And then I actually went to my girlfriend's place for about 5 days. So I literally just got back from there like a day and a half ago. So I'm actually just getting used to being back in my own home again, Sean, at this point, let alone playing games. So as you can imagine, I played a lot of Switch along the way. Obviously, there's an Xbox show, so I won't dive too deep into Switch games or anything like that. But yeah, my holidays were also pretty busy and just also not full of games.
I know.
Which is why I now have a giant pile of games to play now that I'm back. I talked about it on the RPG Cave where I'm like on the fence between starting either Chained Echoes or Marvel's Midnight Suns. Like those are the two games I really want to play right now. But I'm like, man, One Piece Odyssey is out next week. Do I start something that I know is long to then play that? And then the week after, it's Persona 3 and 4 and Fire Emblem. And
oh
it's
my
like,
gosh.
And
Are
then the
you
week after that,
replaying
and the week after
Persona?
that,
You're doing that?
I mean, I was thinking about it, but Fire Emblem is also at the same week, so I might just play Fire Emblem instead.
Yeah.
But then Dead Space is out the week after, so I'm just like, and I'm playing that. So
this is terrible. We need to quit our jobs. We need to be like Kevin Ainsworth from Project X Talk, so we can actually, like, he's in the chat here saying he already beat his first game of the year, and here we are talking about, like, I think we need to step aside, Ryan. That might be what we're getting around to here. If we're not able to play games, then like maybe somebody who actually plays games should come on in here. You know what I mean? Although, how many games did you beat? I shouldn't speak for both of us on this because this is a blip in time for you. This is just a little speed bump.
I was gonna say I beat 81 games. Last year.
So we are not the same.
I beat a lot of games, but I mean, admittedly, in the in the month of December, I felt like I didn't play anything because I just had a lot of stuff going on that just took me off games. So, but it was a good to not be playing games all the time and being able to diversify a little bit and do some other
That's
stuff.
good. Yeah, you're going from 80 to 0. That's can be jarring though, because I'd like to go from like nothing to something. That'd be good for me. I'd be pretty happy with that little adjustment. But I've made mention to my kids that I want to get them some more Pokemon games on their 2DSs. So I've got some more totally legal modifications to be doing to this 2DS. One of the things I should be doing actually to this thing is like a deep clean. Just an absolute scrub fest on this thing because, good God, these kids just like, there's some sort of like mix of peanut butter jam and snot on this 2DS, I think, Ryan. I don't know which came first, but I don't know why I just touched it.
It's just a combination of all three things, Sean, at this point. But anyways.
Man.
We should probably clean the garage a little bit because we got to get the show rolling. So, folks at home, if you want to support the show, there's a number of ways to do that. Number one, if you're watching the live stream right now over at youtube.com/carpoolgaming, or if you're watching the video on demand later, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then ding, 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 ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we go live with new videos or whenever we do a live stream like this one. Also, if you're listening on audio feeds, don't forget to subscribe to us there or rate us if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And then if you want the show a little bit early or some exclusive content, head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Throw a little tip in the old tip jar and out comes content. And also, if you missed it during December, of course, we had all of our exclusive content free on Patreon. So if you missed any of that content, it's still free.
Yep.
So you can go and listen to it. Like the Console War Room, like the Unique Free podcast.
Ooh,
but
the Console War Room, Ryan. Do we need to discuss this? Also, the Nintendo Drive post show yesterday. We went places, man. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it, but Seth and Lachlan and we went places. But you brought up the Console War Room. We need to discuss something. And actually, before I do that, I also want to mention last show, I was in the car. You might notice I'm not in the car this week. That's because we're going to be reading off predictions, and I just can't do that in the vehicle. Right. So we've got it figured out. We have a way for us to do the show live from the car. But sometimes it'll be here. Sometimes it'll be in the car. So I just wanted to throw that aside. But
absolutely.
With that said, Console War Room, Ryan, we're already in it. For those of you who don't know, the Console War Room is an exclusive podcast that posts every single month. Patreon.com/carpoolgaming, or patreon.com/PS Trophy Room, because we do that show with Mr. Badbit and Mr. K-Step over at the Trophy Room. And we competed last year with Fantasy Critic. We went one-on-one with those two, and they talked a lot of smack. Ryan, and Ryan, can you remind me who won 2022 Fantasy Critic between the Xbox Drive and the Trophy Room?
It might have been the Xbox Drive.
The Xbox
it might have
Drive
just been us.
most definitely won. There was never any doubt. There might have been a little bit of doubt for a little bit there, but some poor choices by them led to us winning, and a great choice by Ryan, by the way, selecting River City Girls 2, the final game to come out in 2022, scoring 9 points for us and a -9 for them because they're bad at counter picks. So we said let's record our final episode of the year for the console war room. Let's have a look at this year and celebrate our victory, and that will be that. And lo and behold, we get ready to record, and they say, well, we're picking 2023 games tonight. And that was a surprise for me, Ryan. I got to tell you, I was not expecting that, but we went ahead anyways. You had a list, you were prepared, we're locked in. But if you don't think that I'm going to be mentioning that surprise draft every single time we talk about this showdown with them in 2023, it was rigged from the start. And Kyle, I know you're a good human being. You got a great heart, but you really jam me up, my friend. So there. Rigged from the start. People should go check that out. And actually, we should put this in the show notes. People can follow along, fantasycritic.games, I think, and there's a
link directly to it that I'll have it included. In fact, I'm going to leave it all year in the cleaning the garage little segment of the show notes.
Yeah, we can mention it, or people can just link it, whatever you guys want. But you can hear us talking about it, patreon.com/carpoolgaming every single month. And man, Fantasy Critic is popping off this year. I'm seeing them all crop up all over the place. Matt Swinski from the PlayStation Drive is leading it up for Carpool Gaming, and more to come on that. I don't think that we've announced anything, but we've measured some interest in the Carpool Gaming community. If you guys want in, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, you've not been totally active in the Discord, you got to get in the Discord, because this is, of all the indie podcasts going around, Ryan, from what we can see right now, this is going to be monstrous. There are so many people who are going to jump in on this. This is going to be the biggest Fantasy Critic that you've ever seen in your entire life. I'm so excited about it. I love Fantasy Critic, and we're going to do it better than everybody else too. That's all I got to say about that, Ryan.
Yeah, and also I think we can also announce this too. We also have an upcoming Yubi Capri episode for patrons that's going to also be another fantasy draft for the Carpool Gaming staff as well. So we're going to be doing that again this year.
That's right.
We did that last year. Matt Swinski was actually the winner. So he won the prize of getting to organize Fantasy Critic for everyone else this year. That was his prize for winning.
Seriously.
But we are going to be doing that again as well. So that'll also be on the Patreon. So look out for that as well very, very soon.
And just see if Court can do any better. Even just a point or two better than last year.
I don't know how he could possibly do any worse. He ended up being like -30.
Might have been the worst, I think, I've ever seen. And we should have people place bets as well. I think that would be kind of interesting. We'll make our picks, and then let's see what people think of our picks. They can put their money where their mouth is. We'll start our own little gambling ring here, right? Carpool Gaming. That's where the real money is made. You know what I mean?
Of course. Also, I loved my favorite thing about Court's picks. Not only did he counterpick me on God of War, but then he also, the one game that he did get points for, he also lost points for. So
man. The one that should have got him points was Starfield, and then Matt counterpicked him, locking it in. He couldn't drop Starfield, and we all thought Matt was crazy, but a perfect run by Matt. It's going to be great. I can't wait to pick these games. And I mentioned on the carpool, or on the console war room, I will be jumping over to Fantasy Critic has a Patreon. And because we do so many different leagues on this thing, I will be later on today jumping on and supporting them to the best of my ability. I invite other people to do that as well. You don't have to, of course. I just feel like we talk about it so much, and this is a passion project for, I don't even know the guy's name who does it, but he has a real job, so it'd be great if, I just wanted to put it out there that that's a thing that people can do. I'll be doing that, so if you want to join me, that would be cool too.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Well, anyways, let's send the brakes on this conversation. It's time for some breaking news. I'm actually kind of skipping the playlist this week because we kind of already talked about the fact that we didn't really play anything. So
yeah,
I just have one quick news story before we get to predictions that I wanted to flag. because there wasn't an official announcement by Microsoft about this, but it's listed. This is listed on the Game Pass app. So I wanted to just throw up a quick PSA that the following games are leaving Game Pass on the 15th.
This is not good.
There are two significant games in here, which is why I wanted to bring this up. So first off, we got the Anacrusis, we got Paparazzi, we got Windjammers 2, but then two big games that are leaving: Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc Anniversary Edition, which is an amazing, detective story / visual novel, as well as Nobi Saves the World from Drinkbox. Both of those are leaving Game Pass, so if you want to get those games, make sure to grab them now or play them before the 15th. I just wanted to kind of flag that here, since again, we don't have the official, games list from Microsoft yet. That they usually put up by this time.
Yeah, what the heck? Did they not, did something come out, late December or something? Have we just missed it because of we don't know what's coming out in January, and it's the 4th.
Yeah, they haven't put up their usual posts that they posted this time. I think they might just be behind on for the holidays or something like that. Maybe we get that before Friday.
Maybe that'll be what if that was part of our predictions, Ryan? Just just declare what you think is going to be Game Pass in January.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we already know two of the games with Persona 3 and 4.
That's true.
They're both on Game Pass.
That's the thing. Why aren't they talking? This is a huge deal. Those are big games, and it's massive for. Anyways, I don't want to go on a rant on that. Nobody Saves the World was in many people's Game of the Year considerations, and didn't go on sale in the end of year sales. That game obviously it doesn't need to go on sale. Apparently, it's so good. How am I supposed to play this game, Ryan?
That's what I mean. You gotta get it on that 20% discount.
I know. That's true. That is true. When games are on Game Pass, you can't get them on 20% off. So
I think that's the best bet with this one, because I don't think most people are gonna be able to finish it in a week from the day we're recording this, because that's basically 11 days from now. You're not gonna get time to finish it.
I don't think quitting my job would be sufficient. I think I need to quit family as well, right? I think I need to quit adulting overall. I think that's what I actually. And even then, I think there's still too much.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Kevin Ainsworth and I have both proven you can play tons of games even with a job. So it's more just the family thing, I think, is probably actually the bigger thing.
Unrelated to games, though, can I tell you, I've read the first two, parts of The Last Ronin, which is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles post-apocalyptic comic story, graphic novel. And, dude, I'm that's been on my to-do list. That's been on my my list for a long time. And I think that we'll be doing a little bit of a Geek Outs episode on patreon.com/carpoolgaming. We haven't done that since Scott Pilgrim that we did last year. So put that out there. I've been talking about it a little bit here and there in the Discord. If people have been wondering where I'm at with that, that's where I'm at. 2 parts in, and they're about half an hour read for me, at least the way that I read and look at the pictures. And just imagine what's going on with this mysterious Ninja Turtle, and who are these characters, and who else is maybe dead or alive. Oh my gosh, Ryan, the story! I can't wait to talk to people about it. Have you read this? Have you seen this, Ryan? Have you heard about this?
No, I mean I don't read comics, Sean, because everyone knows this. Comics are for children. So
we did a full set of Scott Pilgrim. That was a.
I know.
Great thing.
Honestly, I just don't read a lot of comics, so that's just my excuse. But I love Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
I mostly read it because I watched the movie and really.
And you love Ninja Turtles. You played a lot of Ninja Turtle games last year.
That's true, but there's a lot of Ninja Turtles comic books, and I don't know if I need to do that. and to Lachlan's point in the chat.
Anyways.
I think it's time, Sean. We've kept the listeners waiting long enough. It is time for our annual predictions.
Mm-hmm.
So we've actually been doing this now for. This is going to be our 4th year of doing predictions.
Wow.
Together, which is good. Which is just. It's funny to think about how fast time kind of flies.
I don't like it. I'm freaking out about it, man. It's not a good feeling right now. I don't like it.
Yeah. So to start things off, we're actually going to go over the results of last year's predictions.
Yep.
And then we'll each kind of give 5 bold Xbox predictions, and then we'll see who's right and who's wrong later, next year when we tally them up. We'll also usually do predictions around E3 as well.
Oh yeah. Get a second shot at this.
Another round at this, but yeah, we got to do this. So
I have a question. I have a question before you jump in. I have a question. My apologies. Do you happen to recall? You said we've done this 4 years. Do you recall how we've done the previous 2 years?
I have it written down.
Okay.
I have it written down.
My bad. Okay. Of course you got this.
So first of all, going into 2022, Our record so far was 1-1. You had won the first year.
Nice.
That the first year of us doing predictions, you won. The second year, I won.
Yep.
But let's see who won 2022.
Oh, no.
So we're going to start with Sean Capri's predictions, okay? Because Sean went first.
And I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't. Unlike the Nintendo Drive, which people should check that show out if you haven't already. Even if you don't like Nintendo, you should check that show out. I did not look at. And I don't remember what I predicted last year. So you're going to be telling me this, and it's going to hopefully jog my memory a little bit.
You also did pretty darn well in the Nintendo Drive one, if I must say.
Oh, yeah. Last year was good.
Points. That was pretty good.
Yeah, did well. Yep.
What was Kato thinking? But anyways, Sean says Cyberpunk 2077 comes to Game Pass day and date with the next gen patch, but also as part of that prediction, Gotham Knights will also come to Game Pass day and date.
Yikes.
He got 0 points on that one, Sean. I'm sorry.
Yikes.
But,
that was my second take on Cyberpunk. I did like 2 tries on Cyberpunk, but man,
it
not on Game Pass.
It was because the year before that, you had also predicted on our predictions episode that it would come to Game Pass, and it did not.
I have no remaining Cyberpunk predictions, which means there's going to be like, I don't know, Phantom, whatever it's called, is going to come to Game Pass. It'll probably be announced like tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up,
shoot,
Quake is getting a reboot announced in 2022. Unfortunately, that did not happen either, and I'm very sad about that because I really want Quake to happen.
Yeah.
Next prediction, the Year of Rare is happening this year. New Banjo-Kazooie and Killer Instinct games are announced now. At the time we recorded this, Sean, this is important for context. For multiple predictions that we're going to have. GoldenEye's achievements had already leaked to us on the back on Exophase
already
when we recorded this. Yeah, so it's actually been a year since we've known about GoldenEye, Sean. But it happened like the week we recorded this episode, so we did mention it there. So GoldenEye coming was not part of the prediction. You indicated that on the episode. So the Year of Rare did not happen, so 0 points.
Embarrassing.
Next up, Xbox will reveal an updated controller with haptic feedback, and it will become the new Xbox Series 2.0 controller released with every single console. 0 points.
That's a good prediction. That's actually really good. Man, yeah. I don't think my predictions this year are nearly this good at all.
Get ready for this one, Sean. This last one. Achievements will get an upgrade in 2022 with a platinum level equivalent, as well as a larger overhaul to the achievement structure. Once again, that did not happen as well. So, Sean, the goose egg.
Oh God, that's a gut punch. Also, because, like I mentioned, I didn't look at last year's predictions. I was putting my predictions together earlier today, and I'm like, man, it'd be great if they had achievements. Man, it'd be good if they had like a better controller and like all the like. So we're just wishing for the same thing over and over again. So we'll see. I don't know. And I also, for people who are in the chat, and there's a lot of wonderful people who are joining us, join in on this. Let us know what your predictions are. Let's log them in here. But yeah, Ryan, I'm curious to know, did you also get a goose egg? Or I feel like you didn't. I feel like you crushed me, man.
We'll see.
Do we tie after coming into this tide? You know, we'll see. We'll see.
Maybe. So my predictions are as follows. The Coalition's new game is fully revealed in 2022 with a name, release date, and trailer. That did not happen.
Not even close.
0 points. Mm-hmm. Next up, Bravely Default 2 or Triangle Strategy come to Xbox and Game Pass this year. Again, didn't happen.
Crazy. Triangle Strategy. I thought that was a given.
I honestly, because again, that was like right after Octopath Traveler had come to Xbox too. Yeah. So I thought like that was a shoe-in to come to Xbox.
Well, then it came to PC as well. Like it's on Steam.
It did.
So you weren't like completely, no, still a 0.
Yep. Next up, Halo Infinite's first DLC story campaign drops this fall. Aatrox is the main villain. 0 points for that one as well.
That's a good prediction.
Tales of Arise comes to Game Pass in April. And again, my entire prediction hinged on the fact that it would come to Game Pass in April, but it didn't come to Game Pass at all.
Yeah.
So 0 points. And then the final prediction, and this is the make or break one, Sean. There will be no announcements of any kind about any Rare IP this year except for GoldenEye, since we already knew about, nor will we hear any additional info on Fable or Perfect Dark. 1 point for me, Sean. 1 point a word because
that's the worst prediction. That's terrible. That's... You really want to win that way? You want to win that way?
3-0. Ryan Turford 1 point. So Ryan Turford the winner.
Leave a comment in the YouTube video what you think about that. There's not going to be any rare announce. Okay. Before we get into this year's, and I guess congratulations for whatever. Yeah, just 0.5 points. Thank you, Yarden. Yes, maybe, but I guess that's
even
still...
if it's 0.5, it doesn't matter. I still win.
Negative 0.5. That's a terrible prediction. Mad addition by subtraction. Exactly. Yeah, I don't like that. Now, when we do our E3 predictions, Ryan, one thing that I'm quite proud of is we do it a little differently than everybody else. We do the whole odds thing. You give a prediction, and I say, okay, that sounds pretty outlandish. 10 points. Like, if you get it, you're going to get 10 points. That prediction that you just gave, I would have given you like maybe 1 point. And I guess maybe in that system still you would have won. But I was wondering maybe to pull a Kyle Stevenson on you. How about I surprise you with a brand new rule here? You want to do that for this year? Do you want to give each other odds? Okay.
And we've done odds before as well. Like the time you made the Forza prediction about it was there was one I think you made in 2020 where it was like you had like a double or nothing where the prediction had to be exactly correct about Forza.
Right. Yeah.
You were off by like one little tidbit.
Oh,
so you
man.
the double points.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, we can do odds this year. Because I think it'll be fun. I think you'll actually be surprised, Sean, with some of my... I think I have one safe prediction, but for the most part, I think that a lot of them are more out there.
Okay.
Just like if you listen to the RPGK predictions this week, like, I went places with some of those. So
I can't wait because I do feel, now what are we in year 3, year 4 with these? Year 3 with the Series X, like... Some of these things, it is a bit of rinse and repeat. We've been wanting some things for a long time. I even went in to go find them. They've got that Xbox Insider program where you can make recommendations and requests. This was one of the things that really led a lot of those backwards compatible games to be taken care of. Like that's kind of that pathway that they created. And even then, like there's some things that have been requested for years at this point that are still left undone. So I have a mix of, I don't think you're going to be very surprised by my predictions, I don't think. So I'm curious to know where you come in on this. I'm just continuing to be the character that Locklith has casted me as the basic B fall Catholic school girl or whatever. Just totally basic, but we'll see. We'll see.
That's okay. So, Sean, as the challenger, you have the right to choose. Would you like to go first or second?
I will go first. I will definitely go first. I will not have my predictions taken by you as they were with Lachlan. She just took all my predictions on the Nintendo Drive.
No, what's up with that?
I know. I had to come up with some more on the spot. But yeah, people should go check that out. Ryan, if I'm okay to go.
Of course.
First prediction is a two-parter, okay? It's hardware-based. And I've been calling for this for a little while. I think this is the year to finally do it. You saw the Series S get discounted over Black Friday down to $250. I think we see Xbox make that a permanent price adjustment. It'll be $250 this year. And I think that's happening soon. This kind of has to happen fairly soon, although it could happen next holiday as well, and that would count. Also, as the second part of this two-parter, we're going to see a discless Series X. It's going to be priced at $399. So you'll have a Series X at $399 without the disc, a Series X with the disc at $499, and then the Series S at $249, my friend.
That's an interesting three-pronged approach. I'm curious to know if they would actually do that. First of all, that's a bold prediction, and I would say if you just did the Series S price point, that would probably be like a 4 or 5. But because you've got the disc list option there, I'm going to give you 9 points on
9 points. I'll take it. Yes.
Because I think that the discless console is an interesting move that I just don't see them going for, and I just can't kind of see it out there.
It's critical. I think they've got to do it. I actually can't believe they've gone this long. I guess the Series S is doing its job at that $299 price point. I just can't believe that you have a PlayStation sitting at $399, the digital version, and then I guess comparable to that would be the Series X, and it's $499. So, and also I just heard a story. It was on Married to the Games. They were talking about in the year 2020, in the year 2022, 72% of games or something like that were sold digitally. Like there's just no sales on physical. So I think for a variety of reasons, I think the supply chain stuff is all taken care of. I think they're going to move it. And let's get some like special editions, man. What the heck? I'm not even going there yet, but goodness gracious.
The only one we've gotten is that Halo edition that happened, like that came out before Halo
Oh,
Infinite
give me
came
a
out.
starship, like rocket ship, like tower thing. That would be awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's actually a pretty bold prediction. Now, before we go to my first prediction, I've got to ask you this question, Sean. What would they call it? Because like we know, like we had the
SAD.
the SAD, there's Xbox Series SAD.
Just all digital. I think that's the naming convention, the Series X all digital. So the XAD.
The Series XAD.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, that's funny. All right. Well, Sean, I have to steal this one from you before you take it, and this is one of my safer predictions, but it's one that I want to will into existence because it was actually one of your predictions last year, and
You
it's been
better
one of the
not.
ones I've wanted for a while. This is finally the year, Sean.
Oh, no.
The next shooter from id Software is a
Quake.
reboot of Quake coming later in 2023 because it's time, Sean. First of all, even if it's not Quake, it's time for id Software to have their next big first-person shooter in like the Doom Eternal engine. Because it's been a couple of years now since Doom Eternal has been out, and we're kind of patiently waiting for what their next big thing is. And I don't think they're going to do Doom 3 like they could.
I agree.
But like, I don't think they're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Quake makes the most sense. It's something fans have been asking for forever. You know, we've been asking for it as the Xbox Drive forever. Like,
It's
please
obvious.
bring back Quake in some way. Like, I want this to be a thing. So even though I'm expecting this to be like a lower on the point scale, I don't care. I just want this to happen so badly that I want to predict it and will it into existence.
It's a weird thing to score. Number one, you're stealing last year, so you're getting deductions of points there. But that doesn't take away from the excitement that I will feel like when I'm surely sitting directly next to you, watching whatever presentation during E3, which is when I think this is going to happen. All that said, you got to have like a lower score on this. Like I think this is like at most, I think this is a 4. Because there really isn't. I was looking on Windows Central because this was one of my predictions. And chat, please help me out. I need a new prediction, so I'm I'm phoning a friend. You guys let me know what I should insert instead of this. Windows Central, Jez Corden did say that there is rumors about Quake, like that. This isn't completely unfounded. So for that, Ryan, I will give you. I feel like 4 is even generous, so I'll say 3 points. You stole mine, you son of a gun.
To give me 2 or 1, so I mean, I'm cool with 3 points, Sean.
3 points is pretty good. Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty generous of you, Sean. And also, apologies for stealing your one prediction. And hopefully, I assume this is probably the only one I actually end up stealing from.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. Nash in the chat says they better bring back 2 Fort 5 if they do. I'm not sure what that is, actually.
I don't know what that is.
Explain yourself, Nash.
I'll Google it while you explain your next thing, Sean.
You don't want to pay full attention to my next prediction? You want to be multitasking over there?
No, I already looked it up. It looks like a Team Fortress map. At least if it's
cool.
the way it is, that's what I'm expecting.
Oh, very cool.
Anyway,
all right. This is not a game-related prediction, Ryan, but I think this is going to be a big year for Xbox. It better be. We've been kind of holding out hope for a year like this, and they've got to communicate it better than they have been. They got to talk to us a little bit better. They need to bring a little of the pizzazz. I think what we're going to see, in addition to the big splash that they do at E3, we're going to have Nintendo Direct style Xbox presentations this year. We're going to have at least 2, I would say. One of them could be very soon, actually, and I really hope that they do. But I think they're going to show us games, and I'm trying to like define this as closely as possible because this isn't like the game comes out on this date type of prediction. I'm trying to kind of go somewhere between. I don't want exactly just give me 6 trailers in a row, but I do think that they're going to have a better version of whatever the Xbox. What do they used to call those things?
Inside Xbox.
It was Inside Xbox. Something better. I think now they can shoot these videos in person, and I would love to see Todd Howard host or Pete Hines host one of these things. That would be really cool. So yes, at least 2 better Xbox presentations this year. Not like they've done before. It's got to be better. How do you feel about that?
I think that's all. I mean, first of all, we do have like the rumored Xbox showcase that's supposed to be happening, sometime in the early part of the year. So that move makes perfect sense, and I think it's something they should have done a long time ago.
Right.
Because Inside Xbox, I think is fine for a certain subset of people because there's a lot of developers who use and stuff like that, which I think is good for people that are into that kind of thing. But for most general folks, getting the news out there, I don't think that's the way to do it. Or maybe the way that they should tackle it is maybe they do like a Nintendo Direct style thing where it is just, wall-to-wall trailers and information. And then after that, if they wanted to do the dev interview stuff like that, they can do like a post-show kind of thing. Kind of like Nintendo does with Treehouse during E3. And then kind of go from there with that. So, yeah, I think that's a great move. I hope that you're right, and I hope that's what they do. And I'm going to give you... So I don't think it's unlikely that it would happen, or it's too out there. So I'm going to give you 6 points for that.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
6 points for that.
All right. So just to recap, for this prediction, you gave me 6 points. For the last prediction, you gave me 9 points. Nice.
That's nice. Anyways, my next prediction, Sean, is a very Ryan Turver prediction, but I have to make it. And no, it has nothing to do with Final Fantasy. I'm sorry. Atlas and Xbox's relationship continues to grow as 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim and Catherine Full Body launch on Xbox and Game Pass day and date in the back half of 2020.
Interesting.
So, yes, because it sounds to me like Sega, first of all, sounds like they have a great relationship with Xbox in general, especially with Game Pass. Like, I think Sega really sees the value in Game Pass. And then, likewise, I think Atlas with Persona 3 and 4 and 5 from October, I think that they're seeing the value in Game Pass, too, and having their games on Xbox. So I think that's just going to lead to more Atlas games being on Xbox. And I think those are the two most likely ones to come. I mean, you could also see other stuff like any of the Shin Megami Tensei games, or just anything else that Atlas makes. But if I'm going to wager that, like, I think these are like the two biggest and best Atlas games that aren't currently on Xbox, that are on Switch and PlayStation, that then could get the port to Xbox and then get that Game Pass treatment. So I'm going to throw out there. And so again, Catherine Full Body, 13 Sentinels. I think you'll see them in the back half of the year. Like, I imagine them being like an announcement in like in the E3 showcase, the same way that we got for Persona 3, 4, and 5. But there you go. What do you think about that, Sean?
I don't think it's completely unlikely. I'm kind of in the middle on this as well. Robby Bobby Miller in the chat saying Connect 3. That might actually be my next prediction, Robby Bobby Miller. That would be amazing. I think there is basis for this, Ryan Turford. And I also think that, I don't know if you have any predictions on the Activision thing, which we rarely talk about on the show, but I think that, I guess in consideration of that, Xbox is going to have to get kind of creative with what they offer this year, because I don't think that thing is anywhere close to being done. I'd be very curious to see if either of us has a prediction on if that gets wrapped up on the timeline that they originally. You have a prediction on that one way or another? Okay. So I think that this could happen. I like the specificity of the games. I like the specificity of you said the back half of the year. Yep. So I think
if any of those things fall apart, Sean, that's it.
Well, that's where you get added, points for difficulty. There's degrees of difficulty on this that you're going to get. I'll say you get a 6 on this.
Okay. I can live with that.
I think Catherine would be a great pick and totally is a fit on. It's been on Xbox. It's not like this is. Yeah.
It was on 360, so I don't understand why they didn't even bring it to
it's pretty
Xbox
crazy
in the first place. It's weird to me.
Yeah. I think you'll get a 6 with those added degrees of difficulty at the end there, Ryan Turford.
Nice. All right, Sean, what's your next one?
I'm going to give you the lineup of games for the year, Ryan, if that's okay.
You can't, hold on. You can't just take the whole year's lineup of games and then just make it so I can't pick any release dates and stuff like that, Sean.
Well,
come on, don't do
you could have done it before me. You took my Quake one, so yep.
All right, continue, Sean.
All right. Well, and we'll see what you do with the points on this one. This might come out of nowhere, Ryan, but I am predicting that Hellblade 2 is the holiday game for this year. I think that's going to be a huge deal. We're seeing rumors that Redfall will be May, so that's not really part of the prediction. I would just kind of like say it to kind of explain the rest of the timeline here. Starfield, we're getting some indications that this is early 2023, which is shocking to me. Also not really part of my prediction, but it's because the information is out there. But I think that means that Forza is September.
Okay.
So I guess when I say Hellblade is holiday, I think that's November. I guess is what I'll be more specific. I'll say that's November. That's an eraser I'm using on my iPad instead of an actual pen. Hellblade is November. Redfall is in May, as is rumored. Starfield is in March, and Forza is in September. What do you think
Okay.
about that, Ryan?
So first off, I need you to define something for future Ryan here, because when I go back and tally the points for this, I need some clarification. So
Should I
am
just bring it down to
correct
the two that we don't really know?
I was gonna say break it down just to the two we don't know, because yes,
Okay.
I'm glad that you laid it out. So people of course know what your outline is,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that's part of your prediction. It's really just Forza will come in September, and then in November, I think you said for Hellblade, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think Hellblade will be the big focus for E3. I think Forza could be there as well. And I really struggled with Forza because it's because I laid out all these games this way. I'm like, okay, when is that going to fit in here? If Starfield is somewhere in the first quarter, Yarden is in the chat reminding me Redfall is specifically rumored for May 12th. It looks like, or is that just your guess, Yarden? I thought I read that as a specific rumor. So like, I didn't think that, as much as I want Forza to be like a June game, like I would really like Forza to be a June game. I don't think they put Forza out right after Redfall.
Now hold on, Sean. Before you go any further, does that mean that it gets delayed? Because I was frantic. You might have heard me frantically googling, because
Yeah.
I remembered seeing in the trailer that they had somewhat dated Forza, and it's correct, and that I was actually right about that. So
Did they say spring?
They said spring 2023. So does that change your prediction at all?
Dude, that's crazy if they do.
Because that was the only one they gave a timeline for between those three games was Forza, where they're like, it's coming in spring. So
Can
does
they
that
do
change your
that?
prediction?
Well, I don't think it does, but it would have to. If it doesn't, if I stay September, then that has to add points of difficulty if I'm going against what's already common knowledge.
Oh, absolutely. I would give you extra points for that, John.
I just think if that's the case, if we have Starfield in April, Redfall in May, do you do June? Do you do 3 months in a row?
I would.
Like, is that I mean, I guess like we're kind of looking for there to be a big splash this year.
They're also very different games from each other too. Like I think
That's
that's totally
true.
fine. Because again, like Xbox wants to have is going for the strategy of having like a big game every month on Game Pass being the thing down the road for the service. So I think like that model kind of makes sense, where they could launch those games back to back. Because again, if Forza and Starfield even came out in the same month, I don't think they would hurt each other, because
I'm
they're
really
very
hovering
different
on
games
this.
appealing to different audiences.
Oh, because I want it. Okay, so I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change. I might regret this, but yeah, Hellblade November, Forza June.
Okay.
Do I have to put a date on this to make that even
You don't
harder?
have to if you want to.
I don't want to. I'm gonna go June. I think June's
Because
hard
we're
enough.
not doing half plates this year, Sean, for getting half the prediction right.
What?
Like it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I thought that's what we were doing.
No, because you get like if you gave me a 6, then I would get 3 on that
Yeah. Okay.
if
Yeah.
I got one of them.
Then in that case,
Just dropping
because
the
that
points.
actually, because I actually think, you know what, I'm gonna give you a flat 5. I'm gonna give you
Okay.
5
Okay.
Because I think that's like, because it'd be different if you were doing just one game. Then I would probably increase it more. But because you're getting
That's
two
fair.
games, and
That's
if you
fair.
get one right, it's half point. No, you're getting 5.
I think
You're getting-
Hellblade is a wild card there. I think the Forza is, yeah.
I think so. And
It also
actually,
relies on all these rumors, quote unquote rumors. Like we're kind of talking about this as if it's like for real. Because my original prediction, if we weren't seeing this page go up for Starfield and say early 2023, I would have said that's the holiday game.
right.
Like that's like honest to goodness, and I've said that before. I would have thought I thought they were going to delay that game a year.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I still think Quake and Hellblade are actually probably going to be the holiday games. If I'm
You think they reveal Quake and it comes out this year?
That's what my prediction said.
I stopped listening after I thought you just stole my entire prediction. That game is
No.
revealed and coming out the same year. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's just Bethesda style when they announce games. They usually they will announce them and then they come out the same year. Starfield was an exception to that.
And
then
Elden-
Redfall-
or Elder
and then
Scrolls-
Redfall
Elder.
was supposed to be out last year. It just got delayed. But that's
I would
like
love
the
to see
general
it.
strategy to
I
do
would
that.
love to see it. I really like they've got to bring it this year, man. Like it's people's patience is running out a little bit, I think.
So let me ask you this, Sean. You've already made a prediction about Hellblade.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to make a prediction about Hellblade 2 that also is for the release date.
Mm-hmm.
But do I have permission to make that prediction, provided my prediction is an exact date for Hellblade? So being more specific than you, or is it counted that you've stolen that pick from me?
I mean, I just don't know if strategically that's the best move for you.
Oh, that's what I had written down. I have the exact date for Hellblade written down.
All right, go for it. Yeah, go for it. I just think like if we're both gonna, we'll see. Let's see what it is. But yes, principally, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Still need help with the replacement prediction, chat, please.
Of course.
And I'm not taking Robby Bobby Miller's prediction of Sunset Overdrive 2. I'm sorry,
I mean,
friend.
I have extra predictions if you want me to float one in chat too with you, Sean. But
no, I don't want to take your predictions. You can't. No.
All right. So my prediction for Hellblade 2 will be Xbox's big holiday first-party title because it will launch on November 10th, 2023. aka the first Friday after the first Friday in November, so November 10th. That is the exact day I believe Hellblade is coming out. Because I'm with you.
I could see it.
I think Hellblade is their big holiday game, and I am giving you the exact date. And if that exact date's wrong, future Ryan, I get 0 points.
I could see it. I can actually see it. Is that you must have looked up what day of the week that is? Is that a Friday or something?
It's a Friday.
Yeah. I think it's likely, but I also I appreciate your courageous and bold prediction here, Ryan. I will give you. I mean, there's 365 days in the year. There's 361 days remaining.
It's a 1 in 365 chance that I could be correct, Sean.
It's pretty. And what if it doesn't come out this year at all? Again, we go down these little rabbit holes where we like convince ourselves that we're talking in reality. Once again, predictions. There's no indication of any of this. You deserve points. I would say you get 8 points on this for a specific date. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Heck yeah. I'm so excited. And also, just to show you how confident we are in Hellblade coming out this year, neither us or the trophy room actually have Hellblade in the
what do you got to bring that up for? They don't listen to us anyway.
They don't listen to this show.
That's
Please,
true.
Sean. Yeah.
That's true. We'll find out. We'll find out if they do. Every now and then, Joe will pop into the Nintendo Drive and cause a ruckus, which I appreciate. I want to see more of that. Cause a friendly ruckus. People join us on YouTube. It's a good time, man. Nice. I don't get overly offended by all caps. I use them liberally, so bring it on.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Sean, next prediction.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Ryan, there's no reason for this to happen whatsoever. But I gotta hold on to hope. I want Xbox to release a Sidewinder. I want a joystick, Ryan. I just want it, dude. That's all I got to say. They're going to reveal a Sidewinder joystick. The time for this is come and gone, I should say. Yeah. The whole Microsoft Flight Simulator is when this should have happened, but I want a Sidewinder. I want a joystick. Come on, Microsoft, give us our first party joysticks.
Sean, you're getting 10 for now. Yeah, man. Hold the phone. Before I award you your 10, this prediction is specifically that it's a Sidewinder joystick, correct? If they make a other first party joystick, but it's not called the Sidewinder,
I think I should get partial points if it's a joystick that is called something else, like the Xbox.
You know what? I'm still giving you 10 points anyways. I don't care. Because, yes, even if they come out with a first-party joystick, not an officially licensed
right,
joystick.
Not like Mad Catz or whatever. Yeah,
a Microsoft first-party joystick. No,
just like the Elite controllers. Just like the Elite controller, which maybe would have been.
There's no way in hell this is happening.
In immediate hindsight, I think an Elite controller might have been, like at a Series 3, might have been a better pick.
But you're already locked in. I gave you 10 points.
Yeah, and Lord knows I can't fit my newly blank spot with another controller. I can't have two peripherals in my predictions, Ryan. Oh my goodness gracious.
Of course not.
What the heck else am I going to predict?
Nice. Well,
come on, chat.
Sean, speaking of new things to predict, my next prediction before year's end. So again, I would imagine during your second Xbox showcase to round out the year this year, we see before year's end, we will have a full gameplay reveal, not just the CG trailer.
Nice.
Full
I like where you're going with this.
Gameplay reveal for Indiana Jones from Machine Games. It will be dated for March of 2024. I'm not bold enough to give an exact release date in March, but March 2024 will be when this game is slated to come out, because the new Indiana Jones movie is coming out this year, Sean, and we don't have a game to launch alongside that movie. So, but I do think they're going to do promotion for Indiana Jones because it's ready to go for early next year. What do you think about that one?
Interesting. I like it. I don't know, man. Like gameplay. When did they last show? All we've seen is like the camera running across the desk with a bunch of artifacts on it.
Yeah, just a CG trailer of a desk, basically, is all we have of this game so far.
Man, I don't know.
And it's been a couple of years since they've announced it. Like so that's why I feel like this year might be the time that they show it for it to come out next year and get the hype going for it.
I think it's too early. I think you're gonna get points for that. Like that's the interesting way. That's why I like doing it this way, is because like I can tell you to your face, I think it's unlikely, but you're rewarded for your craziness. Basically, we reward craziness over here on the Xbox Drive. So I think you're gonna get. What was the last one I gave you 8 points for? The date? It was the specific date.
Yeah, the specific date was 8 points.
I feel like that's harder to do than this. I think this is a game that we know exists. It's been a number of years. I don't think that there's any sign that Machine Games is distracted by anything else. I don't think that there's much of a rumor to suggest that like, Wolfenstein is coming out, or there's another game in that series. So I think you're getting 7 points on this.
Okay.
I think that's actually quite generous. Now that I've said it out loud, I think that's pretty.
But there's a
generous.
lot that could go wrong with this prediction too. So it's just
that's why you get 7. Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I don't know if you go much lower than that, but makes sense.
All right, Ryan.
I'll take that. Sean, final prediction.
I've come up with something.
Okay.
This is as bold as Cyberpunk coming to Game Pass. Ubisoft is making a Star Wars game. Apparently, they said 2023 is going to be huge for us. Ryan, the Star Wars game that Ubisoft is making. This is the team that did The Division, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, the team that made that Division. Yeah.
Thank you. It said, here I'm at GameSpot.com. Massive's new Star Wars game is a story-driven open-world experience within Star Wars Galaxy that will also utilize the studio's cutting-edge technology and advances, blah, 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 blah. They failed to mention that it will launch into Game Pass, as is my prediction. This Xbox, they need a massive, pardon the pun, they need a massive game coming into Game Pass. Star Wars is the IP for this. Let's do it. Let's make this happen. My final prediction, is as bold as it gets, Ryan. The Star Wars game coming from Ubisoft, coming to Game Pass day and date, my friend.
First of all, so I have to ask because I'm kind of just flabbergasted by this prediction.
Yep.
With Ubisoft Plus supposedly coming at some point this year to Xbox, does that throw a wrench into the idea of them putting one of their games in Game Pass? Because it would actually include said game in the Ubisoft Plus subscription, because we know that it's not going to be part of Game Pass at all.
Bonus prediction. What did you just call it? Ubisoft, what is it called?
Ubisoft Plus.
Ubisoft Plus is included in Game Pass Ultimate in the same way that EA Play is. Although, as I think about it, I wonder if they do sort of like a 2-tier system like EA does as well. There is a tier of EA Play where I think it's only on PC actually, where you do get like those games day and date. But yeah,
what Ubisoft Plus is literally that, where you get all the day and date Ubisoft games.
Yeah.
Which is why the reason I was bringing that up was because like that would factor into me giving you 10 points for it, because I know there's probably no way in hell that they put that game on Game Pass day and date if Ubisoft Plus is on Xbox at that point.
I think I'm going to leave that, if I can, if this still makes sense, I'm going to leave the Ubisoft Plus stuff out of my prediction.
Okay.
And if it happens to be that's the way that it gets onto Game Pass is because Ubisoft Plus joins Game Pass, that's fine. But I'm not even going to include that. So yeah, do that whatever you want.
I'll just give you flat 10 points for that.
Yeah, let's go.
It is so unlikely to happen.
Oh, come on.
Outside of Ubisoft Plus humping on Game Pass. And even then, they've already come out and said they're not doing that. So unless something's changed behind the scenes, which I'm highly skeptical of. That's why you're getting 10 points.
I also don't even know if this game's coming out this year. Like, do we even know what it's called?
Nope,
it's just the Star Wars game by Ubisoft? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's just called Untitled Star Wars game from Massive. That's it. That's all we know about it.
I just hope it's great.
Yeah.
Like, that's like The Division, but with Star Wars? Dude. Like, that, I would be more hyped about that than Survivor.
Yeah.
Jedi, probably. Star Wars, just Survivor, the
It sounds like this year could be like
EA
really
one.
good for a Star Wars game.
Let's do it,
like,
man.
There's a lot of potential here. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right.
My last prediction, near and dear to Ryan Trevor's heart. Konami will announce
nice.
a bunch of new Castlevania projects this year. And while a larger 3D Castlevania game will be exclusive to PlayStation 5, because of course it will be, there will be a brand new 2D Metroidvania Castlevania game releasing on Xbox and other platforms in 2023. It's about time they bring Castlevania back. For some reason, they didn't bring Castlevania back when the show was happening, when it was at the peak of its popularity. But I think Castlevania, just like other Konami IPs, like Silent Hill, like Metal Gear Solid, all those are coming back this year. Konami's already out on the record saying, yeah, we got a bunch of stuff to announce this year. And I think Castlevania is coming back in a big way. So I think this year there will be a brand new 2D Castlevania game from Konami on Xbox.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen? So you give me 10? That's typically what I associate with not going to happen, Sean.
I'm giving you 9.
Yeah!
I'll give you a 9. I think that I could see it being revealed that it's a thing, but I don't know why. I feel like Konami still got a little bit of ramping up to do before something like that. Like you're saying, like brand new, like this is a newly made game.
Yeah, brand new, just like Metroid Dread is what I kind of
right.
To.
Yeah, I don't think that's this year. I think maybe next year. I think that we could. I'd love to see like what they were gonna do at E3 last year. Was it just last year that they were gonna show up and then they didn't? Like, I don't know, man. That could be something that they reveal at an E3 this year. I hope E3 just overall just crushes it this year. I hope we have a really exciting time in June. So yeah, good for you. I love that you're predicting from your heart. You want to wish something into existence, and you get points for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's part of the reason why I actually think there's some credence as to why some of the Konami stuff that we're going to be hearing about is this year.
Yeah,
because it was because a lot of it was set to be announced last year and just wasn't because they just delayed the showcase for whatever reason. Like I still think there's a possibility that Silent Hill 2 remake actually comes out this year, despite the fact that they didn't actually date it for this year.
Right.
As well as some other stuff. So
that's what I mean. That would be the priority. The stuff that they've already announced but haven't dated, like I just don't see them having some sort of like shadow drop for anything else. So you get points.
So before we go to the community's predictions, do you want to hear my 2 honorable mentions, Sean? The ones that I had as backups.
I actually would love to hear these, especially if they do come true and you get no points for them. I want this on the record. Yeah,
of course. So first off, console ports of Fallout 1 and 2 are announced and released in late 2023. This is something Garrett and I actually talked about on the RPG Cave this week.
That's a great prediction.
It's just like we haven't heard, like they can't just wait till 2020, like 2032 for a new Fallout game. They got to get something else out there, Fallout related. And I think the ports of 1 or 2 are just sitting there on PC waiting to happen. So
1,000%. I was actually I was going to have a prediction about In Exile jumping on to some Fallout. Like I think that there's something else happening with Fallout. I agree with you. But I actually think In Exile is doing a first person RPG at this point. So I think they've already been claimed. I think Obsidian is like they just wrapped Grounded and
because like Garrett said what he thought was going to happen was they were going to do a remake of Fallout 1 but in like the third person like in the first person style.
No way.
Like the other Fallout games. But because of that, the reason you just cited, that's why I thought a port of Fallout 1 and 2 as is, but with like spruced up visuals, I think would be the better idea.
Honestly, I'm actually kind of sad that In Exile is already doing that. But man, this is the new world with Xbox with all these studios and IP. Like it's almost too much. What are you gonna put with each studio? It's gonna be interesting to see. I like that prediction though, and too bad you're not gonna get it right.
Yeah, and the other one I had to do with the Activision deal, and that is the Activision Blizzard deal will be blocked by the FTC in 2023 and will not happen.
Wow, just straight up not like it's gonna be confirmed, done. Like we're done talking about it. Wow. It's
either like it either be that or Microsoft backs out of it because they don't want to spend more than $2 billion. Like give more than $2 billion to Activision.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was my
honorable mention, not logged. So that means there's a
like that was the one at the very bottom of my honorable mentions for a reason because I didn't want to bring like a negative kind of prediction in there. But it's it's like even negative stuff like that is still stuff we should talk about as an podcast from time to time too.
Should I think it's gonna happen. I actually so just as an honorable, maybe this is like a bonus point or something because we're both like we'll weigh in on this. I do think it's gonna happen. Where I struggle though is if it's gonna happen this year. Like I actually think that this could be delayed quite some time, but I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything about this stuff, which is why you guys don't hear us talking about much of this at all.
Yeah, that's why we usually don't talk about it every week. So
right, I just don't think
this is a nice side bet. This is a nice
side bet. Yeah. I think what the FTC, from what I can see, they're not basing it on reality, and I think Microsoft is going to come at them with the full might of every lawyer they can find in America just to make sure that this thing does happen. And I also think Activision is incentivized to make it happen as well, as are their shareholders. So I think this will happen. I just don't know if it's going to happen with any expediency, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it might not happen this year.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's go to our community picks because we've got some from the community. So huge thank you to everyone who submitted, of course, your community predictions. Starting off with the Muffin Mon, Kevin Ainsworth, who says, I think we get Starfield in April and Hellblade 2 makes it for the fall this year.
Yes.
So he's right on the same page with us. Next up, Darth Grinchius.
Yep.
Grinchius. I think that's how you say it. Asks and says, will Redfall launch before or after Starfield? I still think I think Redfall still comes out before Starfield.
Interesting.
But only by like a month. I feel like the timeline that you kind of set out where it's Forza, Redfall, Starfield is kind of, or
no, the other way around.
It'll change Starfield and Redfall.
Yeah.
That's kind of the timeline we're looking at, I think.
Okay, wait. Tell me what go the other way around. Which way do you want things to come out? Which way do you think things are coming out?
I think it'll be Forza, Redfall, Starfield, and you think it's Forza, Starfield, Redfall.
No, I think Forza's coming out last.
Oh, you think Forza's coming out last?
I think it's June. I think Forza is June.
Okay, never mind then.
I think Redfall is rumored to be May, and Starfield, from what we see, is early 2023, which I think we were saying it's April. So I say Starfield April, Redfall May, Forza June. What do you say?
I say Forza in March.
Wow.
Redfall in May, and then Starfield in June.
I would love that. Like, personally, give me Motorsport. Like, holy crap. And we didn't talk about DLC for Forza Horizon 2 at all. Give that to me like next week. And I'll figure all this others. I'm freaking out about all these games, but man, we've got to get DLC 2 for Forza Horizon done before we jump into Motorsport. Like we've got to get our ducks in a row, Ryan Turford.
It's either that or if there's just not a huge DLC plan for Motorsport, maybe they wait until
not a chance.
The end of the year to do DLC 2.
No, it's going to be a big drip feed. Like, we're going to be playing Motorsport. I cannot wait for Motorsport. And if people are out there listening and think Motorsport is like this crazy sim game, like it's going to be on Game Pass, so just give it a try. Motorsport is not nearly as intimidating as you might think it is. I would say Gran Turismo is way more intimidating, way more difficult. I think Project Cars is another example. Project Cars 2 is a really heavy-duty sim. Motorsport, like, it's a Microsoft game still. They'll figure out a way for you to jump on in. It's all good.
Next up, Blaze Knight says, I predict that an Xbox first-party title will be a contender for Game of the Year this year at the Game Awards, and that game will not be Starfield.
It could be Hellblade. That's a great prediction. I really like that, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like Hellblade's going to be that game this year, especially because we've already seen gameplay of it. So, and then
side question on that. I'm sorry too. I know we're running long. But I don't have to go back to work, and hopefully this is okay for you too. How do you think Starfield is going to be received? What do you think the critical reception of as far as, we'll just go for Open Critic. Like, do you think over 82?
So I was going to say between 80 and 85.
I know.
So over 82, probably. I'll say yes.
I'll say yes too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just depends on how buggy it is at launch more than anything.
Isn't that the truth?
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I think it's going to play into it more than anything is how buggy.
Okay, so generally pretty positive.
Yeah.
But if it's not over 90, is that like a failure? Like, is that kind of where the narrative lies with this? Because this is a big deal. They've been making it for 40 years.
The only Bethesda game that we found after doing the research that was over that mark was Fallout 3. And I don't think it's going to be at Fallout 3 levels.
Fallout 3 is special, man.
Skyrim wasn't one of those games, and Skyrim was amazing. Oblivion wasn't one of those games. And then Fallout 4, was actually one of the highest ones too at 88. So, dude,
I can't wait for Fallout. They're going to do the next gen patch for Fallout 4 as well. Like that, man. Because Fallout 4 is good. Fallout 4, this is why I'm glad we can talk on a podcast, Ryan, because some of these games get a little like hashtag or something attached to them, and people go like base building for Fallout 4, and they make up their minds about it. Like, I don't know, man. I know you have your feelings about Fallout 4, but I think it's a great game.
I'm glad you like it, John.
Yeah, you would say that.
And then last community pick before we get to questions, John, because we have questions as well. Comes to us from Trickster13 EST, who says,
Yo,
I think we might get a trailer for Kojima's game on Xbox.
Interesting.
I think we also, and they actually outlined their Xbox timeline as well. I think we get Starfield in March, Forza Motorsport in April, Minecraft Legends.
Ooh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, me too. And then Redfall in June. Because Minecraft Legends is also supposed to be first half of the year too. Yeah, Xbox better have a showcase soon, Sean. Because if they're not, like, I don't know how any of this.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's where my prediction was in. They've got to get that figured out, and it's got to be very compelling. It's got to be very soon, man. There's got to be. This is it. How can it not be a great year? Look at all the things we're talking about. These things are happening. Oh my gosh. Exactly. Kevin in the chat says, "Yeah, Minecraft Legends also says spring 2023." There's too much.
Yeah,
I'm quitting my job. I'm quitting my job. Like. Can you, everybody, patreon.com/carpoolgaming. I need to quit my job so that I can play all these games. Holy crap, dude.
Whoa, you can't just do that. We need to do that.
Well, you can, I mean, I can't decide if you're going to quit your job or not, but I'm telling you that what I can speak for myself, you know, patreon.com/carpoolgaming, quit my job or go down to like part-time or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Help us
Let's do this. Oh my gosh. Yes.
All right.
Or Manscaped. We'll start, you know what? I'm not above doing Manscaped ads. I don't care. Yeah. Locklith will do it.
We could do some fun.
He'll do the reads,
ads, Sean.
Yep.
We don't even need to do them as a read. I'll have to show you some of them from the Hack to Movie channel. I think they do a really good job.
So do the Nintendo pals. Actually, they do like little I don't know, haikus or whatever, Pokemon.
Or you do like a skit with or something. But
it's good stuff.
Anyways,
yeah.
3 quick carpool questions this week. Blaze Knight asks, which is your favorite digital storefront out there? For me, it's Xbox. But the only thing I have to compare it to is the eShop, which is garbage tier digital.
No kidding.
Storefront. Yeah. We actually had this question on the RPG Cave this week from PlaySide as well. And on that show, I said the PlayStation storefront I thought was the best one because just Steam and Switch, for example, it's just so hard to find new games on there or games you've ever heard of because it's just buried under shovelware. Whereas I think PlayStation and Xbox do a little bit of a better job of doing that, but they also just don't have as much shovelware on those platforms, especially now that like a lot of those the easy platinum games are starting to become banned. So I think it's easier to navigate that storefront. But since I answered that question already, Sean, what do you think?
I like Steam quite a lot. One of the things that I'm finding frustrating playing more and more on PC these days is just that there are it's just a classic, like there's so many launchers, which it sounds like it's a pain in the butt to start your game up. And that is part of it. But like, I forget where I own games on computer. Like, and that is ridiculous. Like, I just wish that there was something that would say, hey, dum-dum, don't buy this on Steam. You already have it on Epic or GOG or whatever. Like, I almost bought Fallout 3 times, dude. Like, because it's on sale everywhere. I'm like, that's a great game. I should own it. And I go, let me just pause and just chill out for a second here. I'm going to be a bit of a homer on this. I like Xboxes. I like it. I wish it was better on an app. I wish there must be some sort of like Apple tax or something, some reason why you can't really purchase games on the app. But primarily, I like that if I look at a game, if it's like a gold edition or like legendary or whatever, I can still figure out pretty quickly if I own a version of that game. And kind of see like the family tree that happens from a giant bundle thing to all the different iterations of it. And that's a big deal for me because there's games that you get on Game Pass or that you just buy or whatever that like I don't want to buy twice. And I find that to be nice and snappy. They did a decent job, I would say, revising what it was before. So I'm going to say Xboxes, especially when they got a cart and they got a wish list. That's it. That's where you need to have that. And you're right. The Nintendo eShop it's just trash, especially on the console.
Exactly. All right, next up, Nagachaka asks, will Xbox host another Xbox Fan Fest event in Toronto in 2023? And if so, will Ryan, Sean, and Court be attending again in person? Maybe even more Carpool Gaming folks will attend this year? Wink, wink. I mean, I hope so. Nagachaka. I know, Court's been, taking to Twitter saying, hey, please, we need another one of these events this year. Absolutely, I hope so. Because that was an awesome event. That we got to go to in Toronto this year. So I hope they do another one.
Ryan, what episode is this? What number are we on? 370 something?
72. 272.
272. 300 coming up. E3 or FanFest, if you like, is in 22 weeks. So that puts us to 3 or 292. Is that what it is?
294.
294. Oh yeah, that's math. So
6 away.
pretty close. Pretty close. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
We're watching that very
we'll
closely. We're watching the situation closely, Ryan.
Yeah. And then the last question is a big question, and I'll read it out, and we decide if we want to.
Okay.
This comes to us from I Can't See, and I think this is actually mostly a question for you, Sean, because you'll understand when we
okay.
this. So, what are some of your favorite games on the original Xbox and Xbox 360? For me, 100% Ninja Gaiden is my favorite, but I miss playing Otogi 1 and 2.
Nice.
They're extremely hidden gems, and I don't even know if they're playable, and without having a physical copy. I Can't See, first of all, before I finish reading your question, they are playable on Series X because they're backwards compatible games, and you can buy them from the store for $20. I went and looked before the show went up, which is good because Otogi 2 is like a $200 game now. So
holy crap.
Yeah, it's a good thing that it's on the store now. But anyways, I'll continue. Also, what are some of your must-play Game Pass titles, including Xbox exclusives? So, Sean, that's a long question.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long we have to tackle.
Can I suggest, because I actually think we tackled like a pretty main topic this week.
Yeah.
This is very like a topic-centric kind of question.
Yeah.
So
I think we could do that.
Let's defer to next week. And in the meantime, because we're just real smart about this sort of thing, Ryan, I very much encourage I Can't See, and anybody else who's interested in this sort of thing and our thoughts on this, check out on the feed. Ryan Turford has done a wonderful job cataloging the top 50 games from both the original Xbox and on the 360. So I encourage you to you find them on the Roundabout and the Crossroads.
Yeah, the Roundabout and the Crossroads on the podcast feed.
Yeah, so they're all there actually. So I hate doing the whole like go Google it, go find it, but it is there and you can check that out. A wonderful job.
Well,
15
I'm going to throw it out
each.
there. I'm floating the idea of making a Patreon bundle of those.
I love that.
They're just all one episode.
Totally.
Just on the Patreon feeds.
Oh, just one episode. Oh, snap. And we run through all 50?
Like one episode for the Roundabout and then one episode for the Crossroads.
That's
just
a great
make it
idea.
one long audio thing with time codes.
Well, our good friend Robby Bobby Miller loves this sort of thing as well. We love lists. I would love to see, I saw a video of the top 50 indie games. Dude, I want to do more lists. Like more of this, please. So we'll jump into, because we get this question every so often, maybe once or twice a year. So I want to direct you to that because Ryan, you did a wonderful job with this production of those episodes. And yeah, we can kind of sort through that without having to rush it because we did a lot of chatter about the predictions of this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And then plus, like, I think we also need to look up the Game Pass titles that are currently there because I think that would be
good call.
It's good to kind of point to these are like the 10 games on Game Pass that are there right now that you do, especially because I'm not expecting we're gonna have news next week on the show anyway.
Dude, like that's like
we'll see,
you're jinxing it,
we'll
man.
See.
We just demanded we need information on a lot of these things. While Robby Bobby Miller is here, he's the king of lists. I'm just gonna throw this out there, Ryan, and you can kick me under the virtual table afterwards. I'd love to have Robby Bobby Miller on the show, like, once every, 6 or 14 weeks or something random like that. And just like go, we're going to do this list. Like just guide us through just a random episode. I just think that would be super duper fun. Maybe it's a Patreon exclusive thing that we do, but we got to do it. This is the year of lists. He's got this idea in my mind. So that's what I got to say about that.
That's a pretty good idea. We'll talk about that after.
We'll talk about it. Yeah. But maybe a Yumi Capri episode, Ryan.
Maybe. Well, not this one because we're doing fantasy cricketing. But anyway, Sean, we got to go. But before we go, Sean, plugs go.
You can find me on Twitter at http://www.twitter.com/Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. And listen to my latest episode of We the GamerCast. Please. It's with Drellesh. It's wonderful. We've got another episode coming up very, very soon. But yeah, that's where you can find me. I do a bunch of podcasts. It's all here at Carpool Gaming, my friend.
Nice. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. You can find us on Twitter at Carpool Gaming, on YouTube at youtube.com/Carpool Gaming, on podcast services around the globe. So for Sean Capri, I'm Ryan Turford. This has been episode 272 of the Xbox Drive. Yes, folks, that's a palindrome episode, and we're out. Bye.
Earlier in the show, I couldn't do simple math that took us from 272 to 294, and that's okay. I was trying to figure out what we're going to do, and I can't wait to see everybody in Toronto. I'm totally going to be back there. You guys, Ryan, you got to take a deeper breath than that. You know what I'm here for. Yeah, bye, bye, bye.